Hello, welcome everybody to 100 Women in Business Tour. We have this event every year. I'm super excited about it because this is where women globally come together to be able to empower, elevate, and equip each other in business and life. We're all about networking, collaborating, building great partnership, and being able to help women to soar in their business. So, that being said, my name is Sunshine Fullenwider, and I'm the CEO of Market Her Brand. We are a global organization that allows women to be able to bring on their products or services and to be able to speak on a platform to be able to share about their experiences, share about things that's going to help you to grow in your business and in life. That being said, because we do so much in this organization, we have tours, summit, conferences, workshops, and mastermind. I mean, if you need a tool, you need to learn about tool, we are where you want to be. So our website is marketherbrand.com. Again, marketherbrand.com. And I recommend just keep that somewhere where you know you can get to it so you can continue to keep track of all what we're doing in our organization. I am super excited about our speaker on tonight. Her name is Kimberly Mays. She's been with the network organization for like, Kimberly, how many years? I don't know.
It's been a few years, yes.
There you go. That being said, she always brings great content to us, from automations to being able to social media to being able to do funnels. I mean, the list goes on. So I love because she brings content to us that's going to help us elevate. And we could use a lot of her content, not just in our business, but also in our careers. And so she's very versatile. We're always honored every time you come onto the
Mhm.
platform. I just want to let you know that. And we are super excited that you continue to stick with us even throughout all these years. But without further ado, I know y'all want to get to know who she is. She's going to introduce herself. She's going to tell y'all her topic, and then she's going to go right into it. Please get your notepads, your pens, your paper, share the broadcast, so that way we can help reach so many more women that need to be able to get this information. Without further ado, I'm going to pass the mic over to you.
Thanks. So I'm really excited, and I appreciate that warm introduction because I just love sharing knowledge, sharing information. So a little bit about me. I demystify technology for small and medium-sized businesses so that they can stop duct taping their systems together and scale with confidence. And when I say duct taping, I don't literally mean that, but do you ever feel like you use so many tools and so many products in your business, and there's so many things that are on the market now, it's just really overwhelming. And what I find that people are just using whatever is new, whatever is shiny, and whatever it looks good, especially in our circles where a lot of us, we have virtual assistants. So we may use what our VAs recommend, or maybe we go to a conference, we get sold a piece of software. And so it may feel really overwhelming. It may feel like you use it too much or you're not doing enough. You're either in one of those two camps. So I'm here to bring down the temperature and give you 5 ways you can use systems and AI in your business. Sorry, I'm a little dry. Systems and AI in your business so that you can feel that confidence again. And I don't have PowerPoints and I don't have slides because I do just like to talk. So if you're a visual person, I will put visuals up eventually. But just know that there's 5 areas, 5 key areas that I'm going to talk about first. And then I'm going to offer a freebie at the end too. So let's talk about AI. AI is just everywhere. So you can't even open up an application without seeing an AI component. And for those who are very new to AI, or you're just like, okay, well, what exactly is this? It's just literally machine learning. It is decision making. Oh, I'm back. Great. Cool.
Don't know
That
what
was a
happened.
quick back. Okay, cool. Yeah. So I was just talking about the fundamentals of AI. AI is not new. So just because ChatGPT became mainstream a couple of years ago, AI has been around for decades. It's literally machine learning. It is using data sets to predict future outcomes, future things. And basically, that's about as simplistic of an explanation I can give it. And what's happened now is that this technology is really embedded in all of the products that we use. And underneath it all, it is is usually triggered or powered by a large language model. So if you've ever used ChatGPT, Claude, and Anthropic, well, Anthropic is Claude, Copilot or Gemini or one of those things, chances are that that is running a lot of your favorite AI tools. And AI does need to be a strategy now because it's not going away, but it has to be used responsibly, and you have to understand where what it can do and what it can't do. So it can't feel emotions. It's not magic. I know people know that, but it's not magic. It is controlled, trained, and maintained by human beings. And the more you get to use it, the more comfortable you feel. So, one of the first things that I ask people is, where does AI sit in your growth plan? So, if it feels like a someday type of thing, you may want to just open up a ChatGPT account or a Gemini account, just play with it, see what inputs and outputs you get, watch a couple of YouTube videos, and do things that are fun and lighthearted for you. If you've dabbled with it, I say keep dabbling, but now tie it to a process that's repeatable, whether it is your marketing, building sales pages, writing copy, creating images, things like that. So now bring it back into your business. Um, if you've only mapped out a couple of high value use cases and started using pilots, see if they are actually working for you and refine if needed. So that's just one area. And then another area is your data. And I know data is not the most fun thing to talk about. Your data really runs your business. Without data, you don't know what's working and what's not working. But a lot of people think, oh, if I talk about data, I have to be some sort of computer scientist or some sort of nerd. Like, no, it just simply means what do you know about the leads that are coming into your business? What do you know about the people that you're serving? And what do you know about your audience, about the market in general? How do they interact with you? What pieces of content are working? What are they opening? What are they clicking? What if you do digital products, what things are working better than others? And where do you store all of your data as a source of truth? And when I say source of truth, meaning that your data is not in this spreadsheet somewhere or that spreadsheet somewhere, this system, and you're kind of piecemealing it together, but really thinking about how do you centralize your data so you can make clear, sound decisions. And if it's scattered everywhere, you're probably in great company, because I think this is probably 75 to 80% of businesses. If it's just sticky notes in your head, random documents, maybe your VA took it with them. Or maybe if you started logging things into a spreadsheet, you're a little bit more ahead of the curve. If you sign up for like a MailChimp, if you sign up for MailerLite, any kind of email marketing service, I think again you're doing very well. And if you have a more robust CRM, like I know High Level is a CRM a lot of people use, then you're way ahead of the game. And if you're already cataloging and tagging and identifying key points of decision, then I guess you're very advanced. And that is where we all aspire to be. And that's actually what I teach too, is how to get to that level. And then the third thing is about your automation. So automations are fun and funnels are still relevant. And I don't mean to say that AI made funnels irrelevant, but AI could definitely help your funnels. How are people coming into your business? What are they doing in your business? And then how are they either converting into a client or not? And what can you do to see the progression from a lead to a customer? And if you've identified some ways that people people move through your business, or some of the things that are repeatable, do you have workflows that do a lot of this work for you? So for example, I have people in my friend group, in my networks, who do a lot of events, right? Wouldn't it be nice if they just set up a landing page for their event, they get all of the data that they need, and they get all of the data that they need, and then they also get the participants who are going to be there. The participants get the date and the time, and everything just flows. So really think about your automations and think about the systems that you are using. So, what do your workflows look like? I would definitely answer this question. And the nice thing about using AI for it now is that AI can help you identify what your workflow should look like optimally. So, you could say, you can open up ChatGPT right now and say, hey, I'm having an event. What are the things that I need to automate for my virtual event? So some people have some people have I'm trying to think of some multi-day events. I've seen boot camps. I've also worked on in-person events too. So maybe some people got to be in a room at a certain time. I remember going to an event where the host had to like ping everybody to say, hey, we're in room 305 every single day or something like that. And I'm like, well, he should put that into something that automates. Like he doesn't have to do that. And it doesn't have to be events. That's just one example. There's other examples like courses, for example. Like if somebody is taking a course and they completed a module, then maybe you want to know about it. Maybe if they get stuck somewhere, maybe you want to nudge them. So there are so many elements of a funnel that I can go into. And I know I'm speaking really, really fast because I want to save time at the end if there are any questions or discussion points. But I want to get the fourth one. The fourth thing is working alongside AI and automation is your team. You need human beings no matter what. I know that I am all about technology and I talk about your systems and your software, but without the people in your business, it's going to be very difficult. And I know in a lot of our businesses, we have turnover. So we may hire this person, may hire that person, and hire this person, hire that person. And they all have unique characteristics, personalities, goals, because people are very different. But there needs to be an underlying structure as a business owner. You are the captain of the ship and you need to be in control. And I see too many people cede control over stuff because they don't understand it. So if they don't understand email marketing, for example, they'll let their VA run wild with it. Or maybe they trust their VA with so much now the VA has all the keys and making all the decisions based on what that entrepreneur feels like that the business owner feels like they don't know. So here are a couple of things that you could do. Number one, write it down. The processes, own your domains, own your hosting, own your passwords to your own accounts, have your credit cards in there and not someone else's. And then when you give a new employee permissions, you want to make sure that they only have the level of access that they need. So they don't need admin access to all your stuff. They just need access to be able to send that email or to post that post or whatever whatever being. And you can use AI to write these documents. So you can just say, okay, well, I have a virtual assistant that sends out emails, that sends out social, that also maybe takes inbound inquiries and answers them. Here are the processes that this person should follow. So if they should leave or if you need to hire someone else, you have all that documented and ready to go. You aren't scrambling around for trying to figure out, oh, my web person has my domain and now I can't get into my website and now I have to buy a new domain name. I've seen that too, where people had to buy new domain names because they lost access to all their accounts. So thinking about that, that is a way you can combine structure and software together. And then the fifth one, because I am a New Yorker, so I talk really fast and I can't help it. But that is part of my thing. And I also want to leave things open. And I also want to get to the five so that I can slow it down and talk a little bit more. So the fifth one is all about keeping score and keeping tabs. Because at the end of the day, what gets measured gets improved. And it's really hard to measure stuff if you don't know what's important to measure. And what is important to measure is called KPIs or key performance indices. So these are your open rates, your click-through rates, your conversion rates out of like all the sales calls you have. How many people say yes? How many people buy? Or how many people after landing on your landing page actually go through the next step, whether it's a freebie or a paid offer? How many people have you brought in and how many people have actually went to the next step? That's important because knowing your numbers is not, I know sometimes it's not the most fun thing to look at. You're like, oh, it could be a little bit discouraging sometimes, but it also gives clues like, okay, well, I need 10 people in my course if I'm going to sell one mastermind, for example, or I need 11 people, I need like 50 people on my workshop if one of them is going to convert as a consultant client, for example, or I need this many people in the room. So those are some KPIs. So there's levels to this. You can have a handful of KPIs. I wouldn't say you have to start measuring everything if you're new to it. But if you've been at this for some time and you're like, okay, well, we don't only do email marketing, but we also do a bunch of other digital products. You may want to invest in things that track where you're going at multiple times, multiple channels. So that's also social media, your emails, and so I'm taking other marketing channels, your conversions, as well as your sales calls. How many people are booking calls for you if you're hiring a salesperson? How many qualified leads is that salesperson bringing you? Because I've had that problem too, where I hire salesperson, they brought me lots of leads, but like 80% of them were just people who were not qualified at all. So that was a miss on my part because I didn't have step number 4 with the people and processes in place. And so it all is one ecosystem, all really ties together. And it's not fixable with one tool or another. So when people say to me, hey, Kim, like what tool do I need to invest in? I said, the one you're actually going to use, because I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, you need to buy this because this is going to change everything. I'm like, no, if it's a Google Doc and you're using that Google Doc very well and you're killing it, then keep doing that. But if you're not at least doing something, then you should be doing that at the very least. But you can always elevate from there. So that's why I teach how I teach, because I don't want to overwhelm people. And I feel like a lot of people, when they teach this stuff, they teach it at the highest level and they say, okay, well, now you need to spend $100 a month, $200 a month for a piece of software. But at the end of the day, I just broke it down to these 5 areas. So if you take nothing else away from it, just know that there are things that you can do to get started today using the tools that come with Microsoft Windows. And you can use that to get started, get comfortable. And then, yeah, with the AI piece, I think ChatGPT is free to use, as well as Gemini, as well as Claude. And if you want to spend $20 a month, I think it's a great investment to invest in any one of those and to see how it can intertwine with either of those 5. So I know I've been talking for a little bit, and I want to have a discussion, or if any questions on the live stream, or if there's anything that I've missed. And I do have an AI systems and scorecards quiz that I put together to identify these 5 areas where you are in the 5, and then it makes recommendations. So I have that as well.
Awesome. I love what you're speaking about, Kimberly, just because you showed us how to simplify our business. As business
Mhm.
owners, we want to be in front of our business, focusing on gaining customers, client, and providing value. This gives us, by you speaking about AI and automations, it allows us to be able to take all the work out of being
Mhm.
able to run a business to where we could focus on the growth of our business. So I'm very excited about what you currently have for us to be able to fill out, to participate in, so we can see how this is going to really, what we need. Because I think that's the first thing. We have this great tool, but again, if you don't know how to use it or where it'll fit in your business, then it's not really a great tool. So I like the fact that let me ask you a question.
Okay.
So because, just in the network, in the organization, we have people that are in e-commerce, people that are coaches, people that are authors. How, what is that first beginning step, before getting with an expert like yourself to be able to simplify? What's that first step in really being able to identify, do you really need AI in your business or not?
Yeah, I would say that the first step is closing your laptop and literally writing on a piece of paper. And I've said that for years because it's very easy when you open something because you can't open a piece of software without an AI element baked in, because that's how they have to stay competitive. So you're not going to be able to open up an email marketing tool, social media. Now we have like Meta creating posts, LinkedIn using AI to create posts. So you're not going to be able to focus unless you just close it all down. And I say close it all down because you're pretty much just mapping out how someone moves through your business. And then the second map, well, I'll talk about the first map, how someone moves through your business. How do they become aware of your business? Because people need to know you exist to do business with you. And then from there, once they're aware, how do you make them interested? How do you keep them interested? How do you keep that engagement going? And that's usually growing an email list, or you can also do followers on social media or video. Just keep in mind that you don't own these platforms. So if you lose your account or the platform changes its algorithm or whatever, you got to start all over. So I always say, take the email, get the email. But how do you keep people interested? How do you get them to take an action, whether it could be an email address, subscribe, or follow? And then how do you get them to convert? How do you get them interested enough to take the next step, whether that's a sales call, whether that's actually clicking on an e-commerce site to look at the products and services that are there, or going into an event, whether it's a webinar or anything. And then how do you take that and then convert them to another product in your funnel? That could be a coaching program, a group program, that could be a retreat. So I say all that to say is just write this down, because then once you write it down, it becomes clear. So no matter what's thrown at you or sold to you, you're like, nope, from there, they need to go from here to here to here to here. And then you make the tool work for you, instead of trying every new widget and lever that's on these tools and then getting all lost. And then you're like, what was I working on again? Because that's happened to me before. So I learned that. And then the second thing is about how do you operate, and how do you fulfill on the things that you've sold. So operations is literally, how do you and your team work? What are repeatable tasks? Do you have to follow up with people for invoicing, for example? Let's say you sold something and now there's a payment plan. Do you, and people are, let's say your clients are missing their dates, you have a lot of receivables. How do you follow up on these receivables? Or how do you automate that follow-up if that is something that's repeatable but doesn't necessarily require a person to sit? So identifying these bottlenecks and repeatable tasks during operations is a great way to start with AI as well, because then you could use a foundational model like ChatGPT to literally give you blueprints and documents and strategies and guides once you have information and context for it. So I would say start there, start on a piece of paper, or start somewhere where you can't be distracted.
I totally agree with you.
Mhm,
Being a business owner myself, you're totally right. We open up the laptop and we got three or four different screens going up and just trying to, get everything
mhm,
done. So I totally understand where you're
mhm,
coming from. And being able to put that pen and paper to work first allows us to kind of like, because you can't open it. I mean, of course you can open many sheets, but I'm just saying,
mhm,
you have to stick on that one page. You're amazing, Coach, and I love how focused you are on specific topics. That being said, can you tell our audience how can they connect with you, what platforms you're on, so
mhm.
they can be able to get what they need?
Yeah, absolutely. So I go by the three names that you see here, Kimberly Inez Mays, because there's another lady, fun fact, her name is Kimberly Mays. So if you put that, you'll get somebody who's obviously not me. So I use my middle name everywhere. So you go to KimberlyInezMays.com, that's my website, and you could find me on LinkedIn, Kimberly Inez Mays, and you can also find me on Facebook and even YouTube, like Kimberly Inez Mays. And from there, you should be able to find links to the AI systems and scorecard quiz. And then you can also do an automation strategy session. So if you want to work with me further, if you want to see what we can build together, I can absolutely support you with that. That's a free 30-minute assessment call. And then later on this month, I'm opening the doors to my academy, and that's all about AI, and that's all about using it responsibly and with intention within your business. And we cover the 5 areas. So that's how anyone can get in touch with me.
Awesome. Well, I'm super excited about the academy. I can't wait till it opens.
Mhm.
I know I'm going to be enrolling, and
No.
so I definitely don't want to be myself. So if
Mhm.
you're listening to this broadcast, we invite you to enroll as well.
Mhm.
Kimberly's an amazing coach. She breaks it down where we can understand it, and most of all, she helps us to be able to close gaps while utilizing tools in our business, so we can continue to help more and more people. So thank you for
Mhm.
being amazing, like always.
Oh, thank
That being said, you're so welcome, hon.
you.
So that being said, please plug into this amazing organization network. I marketherbrand.com to keep track of what we're doing. Connect with us on Facebook under my name, Sunshine Fullenwinder, Kimberly Inez Mays, and so many other speakers that you're going to see here. We're very like-minded. We got one purpose: to empower, elevate, educate, and equip women and people in business to continue to grow. And so this is a great network. And if you're not part of it, you're missing out. So without further ado, I don't want to keep anybody too late, but do you have anything else that you want to say before we end the broadcast?
That is. I'm sorry for the sore throat. I'm also drinking lots of tea. So I just want to say that. But also, it's always a pleasure speaking on your platform and, to share knowledge. So, yes, that's really all I got to say about that for now. AI systems, don't be afraid. Just jump in and have some fun with it.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, we are
Mhm,
super excited. Continue to plug in. We're going to bring more and more on AI, as you can see, as
mhm,
it is a new wave, and we want to make sure we plug in early. That
mhm.
being said, again, thank you all for being on the platform. We're super excited to have you. Until next time, y'all have a great night, and thank you again, Coach Kimberly. We're so excited to
Okay,
have
thank
you.
you. Okay, bye.
Bye.